Hi, my name is Kalen Kennedy, and this is the Making Sawdust Workshop. I've been in this space for about 4.5 years, and I think it's long overdue that I make it a little better, a little more organized, and a lot easier to use. I have some plans to build some rolling base cabinets that'll double as an assembly table, as well as a rolling miter saw stand. But before I can build those projects, I need an easy and accurate way to cut down large sheets of plywood and MDF. Let me show you what I mean. But first, I should probably clean up. Alright, here's a great example. I have this 4x8 sheet of 3/4 inch MDF, and I need to cut about 2 feet off of one end. This would be a pretty difficult cut to make on a table saw, but I'm going to show you a quick and accurate way to do it with a circular saw. Now to cut plywood, you have some options. You could simply draw a line on it and freehand it with your circular saw. But if I'm building cabinets, I want to be a lot more accurate than that. Last couple of years when I need to make a straight cut, I have used this, simply a very straight piece of wood or plywood. I measure so many inches away from my cut line, clamp it down, and then make my cut. So many inches away from your cut line is determined by your circular saw. On this one, that's about 5 3/16 of an inch, but it's above or below by a 32nd or 64th, and I've never taken the time to measure that. Best way to do it is to build yourself a few of these. This, in essence, turns your circular saw into a track saw. Faceplate of your circular saw rests here, up against the fence, and the blade runs right along this edge. So you put this edge on your mark, and it's guaranteed to give you a straight, accurate cut. Could make this project on my Craftsman table saw, but I don't have an outfeed table for it, and it's difficult to get the fence completely parallel to the blade. So I've got a better idea. Now this is a proper shop. It's my dad's and I come over here a lot to work, but hopefully when I'm done making these circular saw guides, I won't have to come over quite as much. Now this circular saw that I'm going to be making my guides for measures about 5 1/4 to that side. About 1 3/4 to that side. And since I want to put a 3-inch bar in between, I'm going to start by making a base plate that's 11 inches wide. Then I'm going to put a 3-inch strip of wood on top of that, so that's 14 inches total. Since I'm making 2 of these and then cutting one of them down to 3 feet and 5 feet, I've got the table saw set up to 28 inches. And now, let's rip down some 11-inch pieces and some 3-inch pieces. Alright, so I've got the boards ripped down to 11 inches wide and 3 inches wide. Then I cross-cut some on the miter saw to 5 feet long and 3 feet long. The next step is to glue them and nail them into place. But I don't want to do that yet because when I was ripping down these 3-inch wide boards, I noticed that they were curling ever so slightly around the blade. So let's take them back to my shop where I can draw a line I know is perfectly straight, and then we'll glue and clamp them onto that line. But before we get going, gotta clean up some sawdust. So let's get to it. Now here's 2 pieces that I need to glue and nail together, but let me explain why I haven't done that yet. When I compared this piece of plywood with my aluminum straight edge, I noticed that the plywood curved about a 64th of an inch. That's almost small enough not to worry about it, but this saw guide and the time I put into it is going to determine the accuracy of all the cuts I make with it in the future. So spending a little bit extra time now trying to fix that 64th of an inch, yeah, that's worth it to me. A little bit of glue on both the base plate and the strip I'm going to attach to it. And spread it around using my fancy tool. And I'll pop a couple brads in each end, lining it up with the line I drew with the aluminum straight edge. With just a little bit of pressure from one bar clamp in the middle, it seems to be as straight as the aluminum guide. Let's tack the rest of the strip down. And we'll throw a few clamps on for good measure. Alright. It's been about an hour, so I think that glue is thoroughly set up. The next step is to cut both edges with the circular saw. Alright, we're all set up. As we make this cut, we just need to make sure we keep this edge of the circular saw up against this fence. And there you have it. This jig allows you to cut on either side of the blade. And along with the 5-foot and 8-foot version, you should be able to cut down any sheet good. Let's see how it works on that MDF. Now that is a pretty straight cut. Remember, the accuracy of your saw guide depends on the accuracy of your fence. So take your time and do it right. Thanks for watching. This has been Making Sawdust. If you enjoyed watching this video, please like and comment down below. If you want to see more like it, subscribe. Next week I'll be building clamp racks, and soon I'll be building rolling base cabinets that double as assembly tables. Get out there and make some sawdust.